So if you are sitting in your chair with your computer at your desk, you can have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart, and really feel the sensation of your feet on the floor. Excuse me. And have your your knees about a hip's width apart. Feel the weight of your hands in your lap and your sits bones in the chair. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And imagine you have this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond, just lengthening your spine. And then at the crown of the head, excuse me, just relax your scalp and your forehead and your eyes, the back of the eyes and the nose and the cheeks and the area around the mouth and the jaw and the back of the tongue and the back of the head. And allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just be aware of the sensation of the air as you, excuse me, inhale and exhale. And then you know, just take in the distractions that are around in your environment. Sound, notifications, pets, smells, and just allow it all to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then check in with yourself this evening, what's going on in your mind tonight or today, wherever you are. Try not to judge what's there. If you have a certain story going on in your mind that may not be grounded in much reality, try and keep a check on that. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, and then the ones you don't have much fondness for, you have aversion for. Keeping in mind that, despite how you might feel about them, they're all equal. And that they want to be happy, they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So, Christine, I just wanted to let you know we did dedicate our Tara Puja this earlier today to your late husband. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind and we can change it equally by creating positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And then we have a little section here on developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginning's time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result of suffering for them sometime in the future. So you make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sakra A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Tita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimbi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So I feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including everything you write, everything you put on social media. The next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So as instantaneously as you walk into a room and flick on a switch and the light comes, you imagine as the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, depression, anger, anxiety, all of this instantly dispelled. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted at all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this time you imagine, the nectar flows down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, and then the nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and blasts all of your delusions. So this is happening all at the same time. And at the same time, you are reciting the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's really crucial. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And we might not sort of initially start with, well, I'm never going to do that again, because it becomes a bit like a New Year's Eve promise. Sort of after about a week, you forget. So it's just best to sort of do it very slowly, kind of quietly, humbly. Think of something that you're aware of that might be harmful to others or to yourself, and develop an awareness around it, first step. And then think about maybe refraining from doing that thing. When the situation comes up and your temptation is to butt in or blurt out, maybe don't do that. Catch yourself. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, and melts into white light and absorbs into through our crown and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Lamsa Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So then we'll do the chanting the names of Manjushri. Oh, where did we go? Share the screen. Accompanied by countless Vajrapanis with features such as fierce turbulent brows, subduers of the hard to tame, heroes appearing with heroic hideous forms, brandishing in their hands their mighty vajras, the tips of which emit intensive light, great benefactors to all living beings, through skill, through insight, and through great compassion. With pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies, those of wrathful deities, protectors who assist the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverently. Okay, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and for Lama Zopa Rinpoche to come sometime soon when he's a little bit older. And then for all of your own individual teachers to live long, happy, healthy lives. Okay, everybody, lots of love. Thank you so much for coming, taking the time out. It's still kind of a holiday here. And Shayla, thank you for hosting during a holiday. All right. And you drive carefully, Jerry. It looks like you're in your car. Okay. Bye.